Hello coaches, welcome to I Coach Football. I'm your host, Joel Forsberg, and as you know, this channel is dedicated to helping coaches like yourself become more successful at both youth 7-on-7 and youth tackle football. Today I'm going to talk about 7-on-7. Now I've coached 7-on-7 football for a lot of years. In fact, I've coached it more years than I've coached tackle football. And I love 7-on-7, and I think it's hugely beneficial for the game of tackle football. But through the years, I've come into contact with a lot of coaches that kind of downplay or poo-poo 7-on-7. They're like, there's a lot of things they say. One of the things they say is it's not realistic. Like the quarterback never has that much time. It creates bad habits in that quarterback. Sometimes they'll say, well, it's not realistic in that you can run around in free space like that without linemen in the way. And there's some other things that a lot of coaches say, and I've even seen I've seen varsity high school coaches kind of downplay it and kind of discourage it from their players. And I think that has a lot to do with maybe sometimes they want to be like, well, we're the only thing, right? Tackle football's it. You should be with us and you should be in the weight room preparing for us. And they don't, a lot of times varsity coaches and even some middle school coaches don't like other coaches coaching their players. They get very territorial. I've seen that. I've seen that being a big reason that coaches are like, well, kind of discouraging their players from playing on 7-on-7. From my standpoint, what I've seen is that in 7-on-7, you get a lot of things that you don't get in tackle football. For instance, we, like I've always said, we're run heavy in Minnesota. At the high school level, the middle school level, it's a run, run, run. So you might have a young player, maybe it's your own kid, that is not getting many reps as a receiver. I mean, to be honest, in our offense and many offenses here in Minnesota, the receiver is just a glorified blocker. And occasionally they're going to go for a pass. But that's unfortunate. So those types of offenses in those regions, and there's a lot of regions like Minnesota, you know, you go down to Iowa, like a lot of the Midwest and other parts of the country, your players who want to play receiver, they're not going to get a lot of looks at that position. Not going to get a lot of film. So another big reason that I have my boys playing elite 7-on-7, my own personal boys, is that we get huddle film on them. So we can send their high school and we can send all this high-level 7-on-7 film to coaches to take a look at. It's like, well, they can play receiver. They can play D-back. Also, this translates not just to receivers, but D-backs. It brings me to my other point is D-backs, they don't get a lot of reps covering the pass in run-heavy areas, right? So they're not getting a lot of film and they're not getting a lot of reps. And like really seeing like what does a full-on passing airborne offense look like, right? They're not getting those looks. And so they might go off to college and we know they're throwing at college. And so they're running the spread. And so now these guys, if they want to go on to college, they get there and they're like, they're a fish out of water because they haven't been practicing. They haven't seen it enough in high school. But if they're playing elite 7-on-7, and they've been every year traveling all over and just seeing all types of different route combinations and formations and stuff, they're going to be prepared. So one misconception is that 7-on-7 just strengthens receivers and quarterbacks. But I've seen many defensive players get a lot of great reps and strength in their game. The Potenza, the team my kids travel with, it's part of the battle circuit of tournaments. We have guys that just play defense. We've had a number of top defensive players in the state of Minnesota who are going on to play college level defense that are playing just defense and getting a lot of reps at that. And so in their high schools are mostly seeing run, and they're not seeing a lot of the pass game, but they're getting those reps in 7-on-7. You get quarterbacks, you get one-on-one quarterback, you see that quarterback throwing over and over, so you can work in his stance, you can work in his release, you can work a lot of stuff with the quarterbacks. You get those receivers learning routes. I mean, really learning route concepts, like Madden style route concepts, and they understand them. So like at my level, by the time my kids have been into 7th and 8th grade, they know the whole route tree. We can just say a number and they know it. I can say a concept and they can run out and do a concept. So those are valuable things. They're not learning that in the tackle football especially even if you do pass a lot of coaches aren't like drilling that over and over and over, like route concept, how to alignments, like why you don't go so far out when you're doing this particular route. If you're doing a drag route, don't be way out here. You're not gonna, the timing, you're not gonna get over here in the right time, right? So timing for routes becomes really sharp when they run 7-on-7. So, I mean, I am a huge fan of 7-on-7 for all those reasons. I have my boys in it. They're gonna get the film, they're gonna get the reps, and I just say don't discourage it. If you have a son or you have players that are in tackle, get them in 7-on-7. Become a 7-on-7 coach. Learn the game of 7-on-7. Find a league, build a team. Expand the game of football, tackle football, by expanding the game of 7-on-7. And plus, guys, it's exciting. It's actually more exciting, or as exciting to me, to be 7-on-7, because you got these really quick, fast games. We'll have 3 games in like one day. On tournaments, you're having multiple games, and it's bam, bam, bam. It's so much fun to coach, you guys. You get to be back there with them. You learn all these different concepts, and it makes your coaching game a lot stronger, because when you do start seeing teams that you go against that are passing, like now you know how to defend against it, and it'll make your coaching game a lot stronger as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for making this channel great. Appreciate you. Have a good day.